Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hey, hey.
You weren't supposed to see us before this. It was supposed to be the starting soon screen.
Yeah, sounds beautiful. David, how's that Dr. Pepper taste?
Can't at all.
All right. Okay. I was wondering. I forgot to
Yeah.
ask you that.
Yeah, guys. So I went to work this morning. Remember how yesterday I was like, "Oh, I haven't felt good in a little bit." Yeah. I got COVID today. Tested positive. That's cool. So I'm out of work next couple days. It sucks. Yo, what's up, Icy
Yeah.
Bird? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yep, dude. It sucks. I can't taste anything. I noticed it halfway through my breakfast, and I was just like, "God damn it! Come on, man!" But shit happens. Whatever.
And we was gonna cancel today's show, but
Yeah, we were gonna cancel, but
David.
I decided not to because
Right. David said no because he wanted, to do it because we look forward to doing this. So
I
just
hate
like
not
any
streaming.
time within the next, hour and a half, if he feels like it's time to end it, we're going to end it. So, just to let you guys know.
All right, we're going to get straight into last week's predictions that me and Pops made.
Oh, I
Elimination
thought
Chamber
we'd start off
predictions.
with that. Good
Uh,
start. Good start to it.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's what happened to me, John. But first off, we both for the tag team match, we both went Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. We were both very wrong. Stupid, my opinion.
I
But
played with my heart. I made my predictions with my heart because what I wanted, and I figured being overseas that's would be what happened. But
it would have been great.
no,
I do have
they
something
got.
else to talk about at the end of it. Like after we go through all the predictions, I will say what I have read.
Hey, White Lion.
Welcome in, White Lion. The men's chamber, we both went Drew McIntyre. We were both right.
You better pick me up for that show.
Surprise, surprise. We were both right.
Yeah, we were.
Uh,
We were.
women's chamber, I was right. Pops went with his heart, like he said. Oh yeah, I hope I don't have. I don't hope I don't lose taste for that long. Yeah, I will. I will get to that in a second. But I was right. Pops went Liv Morgan. He was wrong. Women's
But
champion
who did Becky Lynch pin?
Becky Lynch pin Liv Morgan.
That's right. So I was almost right.
He
I
was
should have got a
almost
half a
right.
point.
You got no points though. So women's championship match. We obviously both went Rhea Ripley. There was no reason she wasn't winning that match.
Right.
And then
Exactly.
the Grayson Waller effect segment, that was going to be our tiebreaker. I said tag teamer managers, and Pop said just hype, maybe a match. And half a point each. We each got. So I
Yeah.
had 3.5, Pops had 2.5. So I won, obviously. Because, I
Yeah,
bet her.
congratulations. But that's going to change with what I hope is coming up next.
Um, there was one thing I wanted to talk about before we got into our predictions for Revolution, and that was I gotta make you bigger on this one here. Hold on.
Where am I going?
Sorry, it's aggravating me. I can never get the things right. Okay, so what I did read was Bronson
Got to
Reed
put
was
my
supposed to be
sundries
on the
over.
card. Bronson Reed was supposed to be there facing Drew McIntyre. CM Punk was supposed to win the Elimination Chamber, but he got hurt. Fucked that all up. Bronson Reed had a baby.
He did him personally himself. That was awesome.
His wife had a baby.
Oh.
Congratulations to Bronson Reed.
Well, I was thinking maybe that's why he put on his. He was putting on some extra pounds.
And I don't know, just a bunch of stuff like happened
Pop speed pops.
that I'm not a Bronson fan either, but
I am.
he grew a little bit on me. I don't like the fact that he was like out doing other promotions and then just came back to WWE like everyone else. I don't. I like when they stay out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I am a Bronson fan because of um, you know, because of his like tribute to uh
Bam
God,
Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Thank you. And I became a fan of him back when that happened, and and stuff like that. Because I was a big Bam Bam Bigelow
Bam Bam
fan.
Bigelow fan.
Your godfather, Sports Rob, was related to the great Big Bam Big Bam, his cousin or
Bam
something.
Bam Bigelow. Not
Stop
Big.
fucking moving me. Well, you're confusing me because you're moving me around, and I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways,
It's because I'm trying to like do like
the
6
old New
things.
Jersey folks. Well, what you do first is you put me underneath
No,
the
I
overlay.
fixed it. Don't worry about it.
All right, okay. Got
Now
OCD.
I do have OCD.
Okay, now where did the chat go? Disappeared.
There we go. Now I
All right.
fixed it.
Yes, Gabe, a New Jersey native. Sports Rob has a lot of relatives in the New Jersey area. You probably know some of them. You guys should get together and have a nice chat.
Doesn't this look so good?
Well, that's why I was wondering. That's why I asked you on the Facebook if you guys were pre-ordering, or are you guys gonna,
So
or if you're gonna get them at the door
before
like you did last time. Sorry, David. Give me 1 minute. Um,
no, you're fine.
because that would be I will pay for whatever. Yeah, I'll pay for the ticket. And I mean, I could even get myself over there. It's just I can't get home. But if you guys are coming, we're all going together. You could come here, pick me up, and we could go over and stuff. Because did you hear who was added to that show, David?
Yep.
Cruel. Cruel is gonna be there, and I want to fucking see who he's gonna take on.
Yeah, I know.
I would love to see Cruel versus fucking like Gangrel or fucking Sandman. Can you imagine Sandman, Cruel?
Yep.
They're gonna fucking burn the tower down. Cruel.
All right. So our next, before I'm gonna save the Revolution, Revolution stuff to the end, because I want a lot. We got a lot to talk about.
Okay. Can we
Inducted
talk? What do you want to talk about?
inducted into the Indie Hall of Fame this year are the
Yeah.
Briscoes and Trent Acid.
Very good. Very good. And where was this? You got to give your source because
I don't know. GCW Twitter is where I've seen it.
okay.
GCW owns or holds the Indie Hall of Fame every year.
Right. So you got to you kind of go a little bit.
And then over the weekend, we crowned 3 new champions. Nick Nemeth became the NJPW Global Champion. Matt Riddle became the NJPW TV Champion. Not excited about that one. I think Matt Riddle sucks. And Mustafa Ali became the TNA X Division Champion.
Yes.
Now, hold on, just give me 1 second. Now, this is showing that no matter how long you're in WWE, you can still make a name for yourself elsewhere. Being Nick Nemeth and Mustafa Ali being put down so much and shit on by WWE, and I'm saying it exactly like that, shit on by WWE for being their top guys, they can go out and be champions elsewhere.
Yes, very much underrated. Nick Naismith and Mustafa Ali, and they tried giving fucking whatever his name is, fucking Riddle. they gave him a push, and I didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I didn't
just
want to
said
see
the
Riddle
New
win
Japan Pro
any
Wrestling
fucking
TV champ.
title.
I don't like Riddle. I ain't giving him no flowers. Yeah, exactly. Matt
Yeah,
Cardona's fucking killing it on the indies right now. Drew
right,
McIntyre will soon be Drew Galloway again in fucking either TNA or
right,
AEW if they keep shitting on him. But then again,
right.
Zack Ryder might be coming back to WWE because his wife is there, and it's like inevitable that he can come
It's
back.
inevitable. I believe that Zack Ryder will come back sometime within the next year or
But
so.
also, we had a returning Shawn Spears last night in NXT. But I don't want.
I-
That's the thing. If I don't want to see Zack Ryder come back and be Zack Ryder. I want him to come back and be Matt Cardona. I want that to be
Right,
his whole gimmick and everything.
right.
I would hate to see him come back as Zack Ryder
Whoa,
and be
whoa,
like
whoa, whoa.
and be pretty much a joke.
Right, and I did. I love Matt since Matt's left. You know what I mean. Even knowing I hated him for a little bit there when he was in the NWA and shit like that.
The
But I
NWA
mean,
was
he's a
trash.
great heel, and he needs to stay that way. And if he does come back to WWE, I like you say, I don't want to see that Zack Ryder come back. I want to see Matt Cardona come back, hook up with his wife, hook up with some people. It's just I'd like to see it. And I was very excited about Spears coming back there last night. But
So
what Spears,
excited. So excited he wasn't even watching the product.
I was watching the product, but it was on a different thing. I was working on some stuff. Now, don't lie to these people. I was looking at giving them some great product that I have, and that you guys are now. Now I'm not gonna post it until maybe next week.
All right, now we're going to talk about the Wrestling Observer Network Awards. There's a lot. So, I have it like in sections. So, I'm going to read the first section now and then we'll talk about it after I get through the first section. Wrestler of the Year Will Ospreay. Most Outstanding Wrestler Will Ospreay. Tag Team of the Year FTR. Best on the Interviews Eddie Kingston. Promotion of the Year surprisingly WWE. Match of the Year Omega versus Ospreay. The United States MVP Cody Rhodes. Japan MVP Will Ospreay. Mexico MVP Mystico. Europe MVP Will Ospreay. Hodge Award / the non-heavyweight MVP was El Hingo Dale Vinkingo. I
All right,
agree with
now
everything there.
I do also, except for the WWE
Yeah, promotion of the year should have been AEW.
or New Japan or something, but they won't give it to like a New Japan or a TNA or anybody else. But you are right. AEW definitely should have been, and that makes Will Ospreay. I mean, come on, the man is awesome, and he's AEW now. He's
Tonight,
signed
he
with
is making
AEW,
his first appearance on AEW. Yeah,
right? And
Sin Cara
that was
did. That's another one who left WWE and made a name for himself.
Sin
Sin
Cara.
Cara.
There you go. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think that they were all just Do you guys got any pick that wasn't up there that should have been?
Yeah, anyone. Like
I mean,
like
Will
I mean,
Ospreay took a majority of those awards, and I just don't get why WWE, won promotion when
yeah, especially match.
Will Ospreay wasn't even there.
You got to think wrestler of the year, match of the year, Europe MVP, Japan MVP. Like that's
Right?
already
Yeah.
so he's. I can continue to go down this list, and he's on so much more of this list. It's crazy. Will Ospreay is made a name for himself, and he's sticking by it. That is
And David, can you give me your early opinion on Will Ospreay that you used to have?
I thought he was annoying, and I didn't like him. I also hated Kenny Omega for a while.
I know, and I love how you explained that last week. That your Kenny Omega hate was because of me being such a fanboy of him, being such a
No,
mark for Kenny
I
Omega.
was a Briscoe hater because of your love and. But it's the same
Yeah.
thing. Is I also didn't like Kenny Omega because my father was very would like.
I tried, push him down his throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, David, look at this. This guy
All
is
right,
awesome.
next section. I have women's wrestling MVP Rhea Ripley, feud of the year Sammy and KO versus the Bloodline, the best box office pro wrestler. Pops is gonna hate this one. Roman Reigns, the most improved Julia Hart, most charismatic MJF. The Bryan Danielson Award for the best technical wrestler went to Bryan Danielson.
Drum roll. When I saw that, I'm sorry. Can I just interrupt you
Yep,
1 second? I was like,
that's it. That's the end of the
well,
section.
if why he's alive and stuff like that, isn't it always going to be him if he's wrestling in any promotion?
I guess. Unless you get, close second, I'm pretty sure was Zack Sabre Jr. But I again, I agree with everything here except for the best box office pro wrestler. John Cena is still technically a pro wrestler. I would rather watch John Cena.
But when you get down to
Yes,
money and stuff like that, I
1
know
or
you
2
said I
years,
was
I
going to
think.
hate that, but I kind of like that. He does put people in the seats, and you see this in the fans and all that. He's putting money in the pockets, and that's the only reason he's sticking around. I'm sorry, I feel if he wasn't doing that for the WWE, he'd be gone because nobody would care. You
But
know
then
him.
again,
Him or any members of the bloodline, they bring the people in. I will admit that money wise, talent wise, I would go with a Cody Rhodes, a John Cena, this and that. Talent wise, yeah, there's tons that are better,
yeah.
but he brings in money.
But I don't understand the feud of the year being Sammy and KO versus the Bloodline. They only had like that like small stint. It was great. I loved watching it. I loved watching Sammy and KO win the belts. I cried. That was great.
I think
Feud.
why they did that was because of the pre stuff, then their stuff, and then the
Yeah,
after
if
stuff.
it was if it was just Sammy versus the Bloodline, I would understand it. But they added Kevin Owens in, but it's okay. It's
Kevin
fine.
Owens.
Most improved Julia Hart. I completely agree. She is so much changed, and I only said it just to piss him off. She's a good wrestler. She's not part of the Hart Foundation like my father likes to think, just because her last name is Hart.
No, and she was cheerleader, whatever, Julia Hart.
Yeah, she
I
sucked.
seen potential in her. I seen potential in her, and David would pick on me and say she has no talent and everything. And again, it goes back to one of those. I just know he likes to piss me off. Yeah. So she was trained in the dungeon, right? That's what I thought.
Was she? I don't
Yeah,
know. All right, all right.
that's why she put that Hart name on her.
Jump down my throat. All right, I'm gonna get
So
this
who gave you
section.
that answer,
This is a big.
Johnny? Yes.
Just so everyone knows, this is
Right, like he wrote, I don't know. He's just making up something so he can
yeah.
make you feel bad.
She could be. I don't know.
There you go. Keep your
Kayfabe is
kayfabe
still alive.
alive.
Always.
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah.
When
Well,
I would say she was,
he's
she was
alive.
trained in the dungeon. She's a member of the Hart family. You know, her little boyfriend there at the point in time was, part of the Hart Foundation.
Yep.
Her
She.
father was
All right.
his father.
The next section. Best high flying wrestler El Finkingo. Most overrated was Sonata. Most underrated was Chad Gable. Rookie of the Year was Yuma Anzai. Best non-wrestler was Don Callis. Best television announcer was Excalibur. Worst television announcer was Booker T. Completely agree. And I don't know who's going to get mad at me for it. Honestly, I hate Booker T's commentating. I think the words shucky ducky quack quack are the stupidest fucking things I have ever heard a day in my life. I don't like hearing that. Excalibur is literally the man who can just rattle off a fucking card like nothing, and then he
Right,
doesn't
and
breathe. And he has a mask on, so it's even harder.
right, I agree 100% with that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know,
Best fuck off, stupid duck.
but
I don't watch
I mean,
much Yuma Anzai or Sonata. I know Sonata's pretty overrated. The button
and
isn't
I
gonna
do
work,
like their pick
Dan.
for underrated, because if you're gonna go through every wrestler out there, the most underrated, nobody gives him. Everybody thinks he's a joke, and this and that. Chad Gable, but Chad Gable really is. I mean, come
I
on,
would rather have
he's.
neither. um,
Uh,
but yeah,
would I
Chad.
rather have? Hey, hold on. Would you rather have Stevie Ray?
Then Booker T. It was a
No.
joke. It was.
Yeah, I know. I
It
understand. I
wasn't a
understand.
real question, bud. Joke.
Well, I was just, and remember, if you want to hit for 40 channel points, you can ask us good questions.
Oh yeah, we do have a new channel command. It does say ask ask a question on the podcast. It's only 40 channel points. Tried to make it very low so everyone could use it. Please don't spam it, and keep the questions smart. Not smart. I don't care. Ask whatever the fuck you want.
Smart. No, what he's basically trying to say is,
Keep it
we want to
PG.
keep the flow of the podcast. You keep the questions, wrestling related or EFED related or something like that. But
And then we're gonna go on to
don't
our
don't
next
ask me my penis size because it's small.
tactic. Or not tactic. Our next portion. Best major wrestling show. AEW Revolution, March 5th. Worst major wrestling show, Crown Jewel, 11-4. Best wrestling move, and I completely agree, The Hidden Blade by Will Ospreay. And Dan, we didn't rob you of your title. You lost. You
Dan
lost.
has hit the 40 channel points, and you have answered his question.
And the MMW Korean, I
Dan,
think it'll be
I had
good
nothing but
if you put your heart into it. If you're just doing it to do it, it's gonna suck. If you're putting your heart and time and effort into it, it will be great. That is the best way to.
best way to put it. And unfortunately, we might be able to be there, but I don't think we don't have the time to. David does all the cause and stuff, so I was gonna send that to you earlier to get a hold of David, but David's. He's doing
Been
this.
having a day.
Thank him, but he's gonna more than likely be
Yes,
passing
it's
out
gonna
real
be
soon.
on Spotify. Speaking of this being on Spotify, I have to upload now that I have days off. I can edit this podcast and last week's, and I can upload them both to Spotify, and then I'll drop the link in the chat, in the Discord, everything like that. But yes, I agree. Crown Jewel sucks almost every time that they do it. I don't like the Saudi pay-per-views. I've never really liked
Nothing
them.
against
It's nothing against Saudi Arabia or anyone like that. It's just a money hungry.
but you're right.
That's all it
Exactly.
is.
It's
It's just a money flow thing. Like, good for them getting a little pay-per-view or getting stuff over there. But it's not that good usually. They try to put like
it's not
Roman
helping the
Reigns is
people.
gonna appear and do this. You know he's not gonna drop the belt at a fucking
And
Saudi pay-per-view.
I don't want to get political, but it's a more political thing than it is anything like that, and I don't want to get into politics on it. Um, so yeah, but I agree there.
Fucking stupid, Ricky. All right, most disgusting promotional tactic. I think this is my favorite award. WWE enabling Vince McMahon and him being back in power, and TKO taking him in position of power.
Yes, it was very good.
This is not the whole section. I'm going down the section. Worst television show? NWA Power. Worst
Nope.
worst match of the year? Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, versus LA Knight. 128. Worst feud of the year? MJF versus the Devil. Worst promotion of the year? NWA. Best Booker? Paul Levesque. Promoter of the year? Nick Khan. Best gimmick? Tony Storm. Worst gimmick? The Devil. You like how every time I said NWA, I was...
I don't agree with any of them, except for that first one that you read there about, blah, blah, blah.
Worst television show in NWA Power.
No, it's not.
It's really not. Like, I don't know. It's not, but it's, you have to think of it as who is voting on this.
NXT.
NXT is not the worst television show. I'm sorry. You are fucking on crack if you think NWA is better than NXT. I'm sorry. I agree.
Not the latest new stuff that's been coming out the last few months. But, okay, not that stuff that like maybe the last 2 or 3 months. But I'm saying before January, so these awards were for last year, right? I'm sorry, NXT sucked.
I mean, yeah,
I did not watch it and this and that. I started watching NXT this year.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like, I just never watched NWA
I never saw him, Gabe. He cooked. What was he cooking?
He's cooking with the
what was he cooking?
He's cooking with his...
I know, it was I booked.
You're old. Worst match of the year, LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. Yes, I agree because of how it was.
Was that Pepsi or
it was
Mountain
the
Dew
Mountain
thing?
Dew?
Yeah, I didn't like that one that much at all. There's a lot of hype. There was lights going on, and I didn't understand what was going on. And I don't drink Mountain Dew, so I don't know. Did you get high? The pitch black match. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was a Mountain Dew pitch
Maybe
black.
if they would have made it Strawberry Crush match, it would have been better. I don't know.
It was Bray Wyatt's last match, so that's why I don't agree with it being the worst match. But, you know, they both did what they could.
Yeah.
They did what they could.
Yeah, but where can you go with worst matches? You could pick out a ton of them.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Wasn't Kali in a match last year? Sometime?
Probably in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, right.
That I didn't
Saudi Arabia.
All right, so now the next one, worst feud of the year, was MJF versus the Devil. I agree. I didn't like Adam Cole, like, having to... If Adam Cole didn't break his ankle, I think it would have been cool if it was just Adam Cole turning. I love the Adam Cole turn. I hate fucking that Wardlow is in this whole Kingdom thing. Like, if you want to include that.
The Kingdom is awesome.
The Kingdom is great.
From the NWA.
No, they were from Ring of Honor.
But they were first in the NWA.
Getting close to the mic. But yeah, MJF versus the Devil, worst feud, whatever. Worst promotion, I agree, NWA. I'm so fucking... Brodus Clay, I'm so glad he's not wrestling anymore. Hello, Rich. How are you?
Hey, Rich. How you doing?
Best Booker, Paul Levesque? No. The best booker
Nope,
is Tony
definitely
Khan.
not.
Tony Khan, best
Yeah,
booker.
I would give that to Tony.
But you also have to remember this is Wrestling Observer. A lot of WWE marks. But
Yeah.
again, best gimmick, Tony Storm. Completely agree. I loved her gimmick. I love her gimmick as it is now. Worst gimmick is the Devil. I agree. It was not. It's not that it wasn't good. It was just too dragged out.
Now the original Devil
No,
with
it's
MJF.
no the new Devil.
And that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Do they combine the two? Are they combining the two? Because I don't agree with it if they're combining the two.
No. And
No.
then the last two I have here is the best wrestling book.
Oh, great! I'm starting to get choppy.
Or the best pro wrestling book is The Last Real World Champion by Tim Hornbaker.
Right when I had a point to make, I get choppy.
Best pro wrestling book, The Last Real World Champion by Tim Hornbaker. And the best pro wrestling documentary, Dark Side of the Ring, Chris Jericho and Tammy got it. They didn't put a second, they just put Chris and Tammy. I don't know who Tammy is, and I'm guessing Chris is Chris Jericho.
No, it was, and I agree with that 100%. It was Chris Candido and Tammy Lynn Cinch. They were a couple. You see, this is one. They were a couple before ECW and this and that. Chris Candido was one of the greatest guys in the world. He got hurt in the ring. Started taking prescription drugs. Got hooked and ended up dying. And this and that. And Tammy Lynn Cinch, as you know her, she
just killed a person.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, she just killed a person basically, and she killed basically him also at the same time. It was a really good one. If you didn't watch it, watch that one because it was a really good one. I did enjoy that. Now, what was the book? I didn't hear the book.
The Last Real World Champion by Tim Hornbaker.
I never heard of it, so I'm gonna have to go out and look for it.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get this. Hold on. I'm trying to get this over here. I'll try to get it.
Okay. Going into the predictions. I hope you guys are all enjoying tonight and stuff like that and giving it a shot. And I thank you all for coming and being here on the COVID episode. We're gonna call it the COVID episode. David got
all right,
COVID.
So we're gonna go from the bottom to the top here, or the top to the bottom.
All right, sounds good.
Jesus. All right, so we got the three-way. Samoa Joe, Hangman,
and that guy.
And Swerve. Sorry, I was typing. I'm going, honestly, I really want to, I hate to say this, but I really want to see Swerve win. I want to see Swerve finally. He can make history on a night that's already making history of it being Sting's last match. He could be the first black AEW World Champion. But then again, Hangman could win back that belt. Or Samoa Joe. Any one of them. It could be great. But in my opinion...
And I know you didn't expect this to come out of my mouth, but I really do like your prediction. I really do. And I kind of want to go with Swerve also. I didn't think of it like that the way because I don't see it, being, I don't see color. So, and I didn't know that, and I just thought back, hey, no, AEW hasn't, and why not Swerve? Because he is probably one of the best guys they have on there. Because if I can hate you and really, really hate you. You know what I mean? In my Marxism, I'm saying, in the wrestle world, if I don't like you, then you're doing your job right. And wouldn't that just piss a lot of people off and bring a lot of storylines out of Revolution? So I'm going with Samoa Joe.
Right. You're not going with your heart here.
No, I'm not going with
So
my
it
heart, but I
seems.
think you did a good pick, and I'm going to give you that 1 point right there. If we're going point wise.
We are going point wise.
All right, I'm going to give you that point.
Did you read that article I sent you before we talk about the next match?
I started to, and it was like 9 pages long, and
I
no,
sent it to you on Discord.
I didn't read the whole thing. I know I have to read it, but I didn't get it. I took a nap, and
So yes, if
I
no
thought
one,
the show was 5.
if no
and
one
you
knows
say
what
no,
I'm
it's 3.
talking about, I will drop it in the Discord. Not Discord. I'll drop it straight into the chat. I read it while I was waiting to go into work this morning. And I didn't go into work. I went into work, but I didn't stay. But I read it, and I got a little teary-eyed, being big fan of Sting and Darby both. And it's basically Darby Allin talking about Sting and what Sting is doing and all that stuff.
And that's why I kind of waited off and held off, because
was,
I know that something coming from Darby's heart about Sting, I didn't want to read it and get all,
Darby,
because I'm already not looking forward to tonight, and I'm
but there's
also
a fun.
already not looking
There
forward to
is a
Sunday.
fun fact that Sting. Well, Darby had no idea he was working with Sting until the week of. He had
where
no
they
idea.
did that match?
He had no idea he was working with Sting. Until I think it was until that Revolution, where Sting came out after the match or whatever, and like saved him. I don't know.
Didn't Sting and Darby do a cinematic match?
Yeah, they versus not FTR, FTW, the FTW crew. It was Hobbs, and Ricky Starks, I think.
In an abandoned building, I thought.
Yeah,
Wasn't there a match between Sting and
No, it wasn't. They weren't facing each other. They were tagging each other. They never faced each other.
Oh.
They've
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Weeks leading up to it, though, Sting's debut, they had Darby in the rafters every week.
Yeah, I remember that.
Looking down. And he had no idea. He didn't put 2 and 2 together. So with that being said, I'm going Sting and Darby.
Again, I agree 100% with you. And this is one we're gonna have to squash out, because I like the idea of them giving Sting and Darby the title, his last match, let him retire with a championship. Then he gives it over, and they do a tournament thing or something like that. I've been talking about this since I heard about the match. I don't think the Young Bucks need to win for them to come over. But I've also heard a few people say and bring out a good mention. If Ric Flair is in the building, Ric Flair screws over Sting in his last match because he's always been overshadowed. Ric Flair feels he's been overshadowed and stuff like that. So with that said, I'm going with the Young Bucks.
You are going Young Bucks.
Yeah, I have to go with the Young Bucks, because once, I believe it was Gabe that brought that up to me, was like, hey, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. It was either Gabe or Relentless.
Gabe, I'm sorry, I hate Ric Flair.
He's gonna be there. Or maybe it was even Matt. Maybe it was you, if Matt's here.
Whoever said it, fuck Ric Flair. The only Flair I like is Gabe.
Right.
And now we have the AEW Women's Championship. This Pops is frozen for a second.
Because Ric Flair and Sting are unanimous with each other with, the first ever, match on Nitro, the last match on Nitro. That's why I feel maybe tonight he's got something. Maybe we'll have a little Ric Flair thing or something tonight. But you can't.
Slightly.
If Tony Khan would be stupid to not use Ric Flair in that match.
I mean, I guess.
Have him come out with the guys or whatever. So, I'm sorry. I know I was taking a long time on my prediction here, but I do pick the Young Bucks.
Okay. Next up, Deonna Purrazzo versus Toni Storm. I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, you're going to let me go first on this one because you want to know who I pick so you can pick the other one.
No,
Anyways.
I picked that right there.
I'm going to say out of these two, I mean, they know each other. They've competed with each other. They competed against each other and stuff like that. And I don't see why would you bring Deanna or whatever, Purrazzo back into the AEW world and stuff like that if you're not going to give her the title. So I'm going to give her the win over Tony, and sorry, that's the way it's going to be.
I have Deonna winning as well.
With some outside help. I think somebody's going to come down and help out.
So what I'm hoping, either Britt Baker. I'm hoping maybe at the end of the match, maybe Deanna. Not in the middle of the match. I hope
Deanna.
I hope Britt Baker makes a return. She's been away for a while. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter comes back. Anything. Thunder Rosa could attack her. Something. Please. Tony Khan needs to book more women's matches. He's doing better. But he's got a stacked locker room of ladies. And I want to see
Plus more. He has one of the most. He has some of the most talented women out there.
That's what I just said. Next up, TNT.
And he keeps bringing on in new ones.
TNT Championship match. Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. Strap a fucking rocket to Daniel Garcia. He is a pro wrestler. That's who I'm picking. He's not a sports entertainer. He is a pro wrestler. I don't care if he does a little dance, whatever the fuck. I love him. I don't like this whole Christian. I'm going to save that thought. Say whatever you're going to say. That's why you shouldn't be eating during
it's on
a podcast.
To me. I got cheesy balls. Everybody, you got to get your cheesy balls.
No, this is a podcast where.
All right. Yeah, I know. Are we doing a podcast? Oh, I forgot. Anyways, Daniel Garcia. I might not like that dance and this thing, but he's grown on me. Out of all those guys that were in that little group, he has grown on me. I do like him. I don't see them actually giving Daniel anything. I think they're gonna have Christian. They'll have somebody fuck it up, maybe maybe have Edge come down and So I'm kind of I'm up and down on this one because of the fact of the matter is I'm gonna go Christian Cage, but it's not gonna be clean and
Christian Cage not a clean.
You might not like. What?
I said Christian Cage, not a clean win. It's unheard of.
Right. So who'd you go with?
Daniel Garcia.
Oh.
You don't
remember now I'm having that problem again where I'm not hearing anything you're saying and stuff.
Don't listen? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, because like sometimes I'll hear things like right now you're not talking, but I won't hear sometimes. It's okay. Well, let's move on.
Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita. Iron sharpens iron match here.
Right, both same members of the same faction and stuff
The
like that.
Don
Will
Callis
Ospreay.
family. You're going
You
Will
got to go with
Ospreay?
Will Ospreay.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
also going
definitely
Will
going.
Ospreay, and I will tell you why I'm going with Will Ospreay. This is how I got it pictured in my head. Konosuke does something a little dirty. Will Ospreay does something a little dirty. They both are like, "Hey, stop that!" And then, at the end of the match, Don Callis gets in and like, ooh, whatever. Will Ospreay kicks kicks Don Callis. Kyle Fletcher kicks Konosuke Takeshita, and fucking out comes Aussie Open. Aussie Open, AEW. I can't wait for it to come back. Aussie Open, United Kingdom, whatever you want to call them. The crowns up, guys. These, I would love to see it. I want to see Will Ospreay as like, cause like yes, Don Callis family is like a heel family, whatever. He is a great guy, I guess. Don Callis, he won an award, but I can't stand him.
Don Callis. What am I doing? I'm giving you my prediction.
No, I was screaming, "Are you done?" to the cat.
Oh. No, but I like that scenario. And Aussie Open coming back and coming to the forefront would also give you a good thing if Sting and what's his name retain, and then we got a tournament and stuff like that. So even though I went with the Young Bucks, but I did like your thing. But then I like your thing here. But we both went with Will Ospreay. So. But I like your what's gonna happen.
Next up, Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. If Eddie Kingston wins, Bryan Danielson has to shake the hand of Eddie Kingston. This is for the Continental Classic Championship. The way this has been going, Danielson has beat all of Eddie's idols, and it's just pissing Eddie off even more and more. So I think Eddie's taking it. And then I think this finally squashes the feud between Eddie and Danielson. Danielson finally shakes his hand, finally shows he respects him. It's no more Eddie versus the Blackpool Combat Club. It's just Eddie can focus on someone else other than someone from the Blackpool Combat Club.
I like it, but I don't see that the outcome at the end. I'm gonna have to get. I love Eddie, and I do love Eddie. And who is the champion? Eddie is the champion.
Literally has like 6 championships right now.
Right. So I'm thinking Eddie's gonna lose. I'm going with Danielson, and I'm not gonna. But the handshake thing, I like your thing about the handshake and stuff like that. They always throw things in, because I'd like to see that, but I don't think it'll end. I really don't think it'll end.
Probably not.
Wait, we got a call from Don Callis. Spam. Anyways.
So next up, we got the International Championship match. We got Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. You can go
Okay,
first.
am I supposed to go? You want me to go first? Okay. Like the idea of the match and everything like that. I'm an Orange Cassidy fan, and I like Orange. But I plain and simple. Orange Cassidy's gonna win the match, but there's gonna be some sort of something that comes out of this. So I'm going with Orange Cassidy.
You know me. I love me some Orange Cassidy. Love me some
Yeah,
OC. Love me some Pixies. When he used to come out to the Pixies. But I have to
right,
go.
right.
I'm going Roderick here.
Yeah,
Roderick Strong. But
again, like,
and
yeah, I can see that.
it's because of what they did. Like having having Cassidy lose it. Ray Phoenix won it. He got injured. Ray Phoenix after he got injured, Moxley got injured, and then it instantly just went back to Orange Cassidy. They hot potatoed it back to Orange Cassidy. He defends it a lot. That's cool. I love seeing the hey, fight me, whatever. That's cool. I love it. I don't. He's not as dominant of a champion anymore. He needs to go away for a little bit to build back what he once was.
Into he's got some nagging injuries that he
Exactly.
could
He
if he
needs
went
to rebuild
like
himself.
the best friends. They went away. They when they all went away and they did their thing and Trent and this and that. Um, they got away and they got to do it. And Cassidy really didn't, did he? I
No, he
mean,
literally only went away for like a month, maybe. But
you
I
know,
agree. Give Roderick the title, and then
and it'll make for good viewing further on. You know, you got Roderick Strong, his group. You got
making that move.
Cassidy, his group.
Then next up, we got a no holds
You got the
barred
returning
match.
Aussie Open.
Got a no holds barred match. FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club's John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli.
Am I going?
Yeah, I'm
Because
waiting.
you know who I'm picking. FTR all the way. I mean, I'm sorry. Um, I know that a lot of people will be predicting FTR and this and that. Um, but I think they're trying to make this Blackpool, called them versus the Briscoes type thing. They're trying to relive all that great stuff, and they're trying to give us great matches, which they are doing. Um, but Moxley and uh, Claudio, I'm not buying them. They're not as good as the Briscoes were,
I agree. I'm also
and
going
that's how I
FTR.
feel they're trying to run this. You know,
I'm also going FTR. Um, it's not really any. They've been FTR's kind of in a slump right now, a little bit. They're not really in the tag team picture. They're not out of it. They're not in the trios. Nothing that's. They're going to.
right?
They're going to win this match. It's going to be a
Yeah,
bloody.
and you got to start.
It's going to be bloody. It's going to be
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
insane. And then I think, like you said, if they relinquish the titles at the end of the night, which that will be for the bonus point. I will let you know that. Um, then they do a tournament.
right.
FTR gets back in, and then at the next pay per view, you know what we get at the end of it? FTR Young Bucks again.
I mean, it starts
I
that
hate to
all
say
over
it,
again.
but
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. And then in the
Yeah.
last match that we will be predicting is the Meat Mountain match. I think that's what they called it. They called it something meat.
The fucking what?
Oh, the Meat Madness match. It's Wardlow, Hobbs, and Lance Archer. So two men who have
Oh,
been on TV like no tomorrow, and a man who has not been on TV in months. It seems like. I'm going Archer, just as a wild card for the Meat Madness match.
well, we're talking meat, and there's a whole hell of a lot of meat in this match, and I'm gonna go with Warlord.
Warlord going that.
Yeah, why? Because they're putting him right in the middle. So I guess he's supposed to be Mr. Meat or whatever. But no, I'm going with Warlord only because
Wardlow.
Wardlow, whatever the fuck his name is, Wardlow, and MJF will appear somewhere. This should have been your bonus thing. Here, let's do another bonus question. MJF will be there sometime during the card.
All right, so I'll do bonus
I don't
point.
want to say when and where
One of two.
and this and that, but yeah, I
Will
want to have two bonus questions. Yeah, you get to
MJF
pick one, and I get to pick one.
show up?
So you picked that, and I believe that MJF
Yeah.
will show up sometime during this
Pops.
show. I'm not going to
Yes.
pick a match or any of that. It don't have to be at a certain time.
Now, for my bonus question, which match will main event the pay-per-view?
Oh, Sting.
You're going.
I'm gonna go Sting.
Sting and
I'm
Darby
going
as
with
well?
the Sting. Yeah. So that won't be, it'll give us both a point, right? If that's what happens. They haven't named the main event.
No, they haven't. I think that's why. And I read on the reason I bring it up is because I read it on Twitter. Someone had said the original plan for AEW was, to get them to main event a pay-per-view with a tag team match. Ring of Honor's done it. WrestleMania, the most recent WrestleMania did it, night one. I think it's time for AEW to have a tag match to main
I
event.
agree 100%.
Put the World Championship match at the beginning. Really suck you in.
The beginning or the middle?
Beginning or the co-main event?
Yeah, like the co-main event, right? Yeah, I like that idea. You're the Booker guy, and I like that. I like that idea. I don't want it at the beginning. I want the beginning to be like that fucking meat match. Who the fuck, Well, I'm settling in, getting pizza down my throat and stuff like that. After a great 5-hour fucking pay-per-view that RTPW is gonna have. My pregame wants to be, I want to watch meaty men doing something.
All right, so we're gonna go back down the predictions for the three-way. I went with Pop. I went with Pops. I went with Swerve. Pops went with Samoa
I will take
Joe.
the three-way.
The Sting's retirement
I
match.
would take the three-way.
I went with Sting and Darby. Pops went with the Bucks. The women's AEW Women's Championship, we both went Deanna. TNT Championship, I went with Garcia. Pops went with Christian. Ospreay versus Takeshita, we both went Will Ospreay. Eddie versus Danielson, I went Eddie. Pops went Danielson. International Championship, I went Strong. Pops went Orange Cassidy. No Holds Barred, we both went FTR. Meat Mountain match, I'm not going with Archer. It was a joke. I'm going with Hobbs. And Pops is going with Warlord.
Oh no, you changed your idea because you thought of meat. Archer has the least meat out of all of them. And I'm not talking his package. I'm talking, his size.
So, will MJF show up for a bonus point? I said yes. Pop said yes. And both of us went who will main event the match. Sting and Darby Allin versus the Bucks. We both said that. I wholeheartedly hope so. I hope they don't. There's no way they can. Oh, it's a retirement match, but after it, we're going to have 6 more matches. No.
Right, no, because that's, and when they announced this was going to be his last match almost a year ago, they knew it was going to be at Revolution, and he gave the date and everything like that. So that's why I can foresee it. It has to be the main event. It has to be. Or maybe Tony's going to turn into Triple H and piss us off.
So to somewhat pivot from that, we can talk about another thing about dates and everything. I've recently seen Matt Tremont coming out with a shirt with a date on it,
Yes.
and
Tell me it's March. Say it's March 24th.
no, it's March some. It says 3 something, but I think it's gonna be his last match. I really do, and if it is,
That would be a set. I hope not, because that
I hope it's not this year because we're
it's not going
losing
to be
too
a
many
fucking
fucking wrestlers retiring this year. We're
yeah,
Rey Mysterio's thinking about retirement. Sting's retiring. Matt Tremont.
right.
We don't have Randy Orton for much longer. His back is fucked. John
Yeah,
Cena
and I think
is not doing anything.
going back to that, I think a lot of in that chamber match. I mean, I think people were trying to go with uh blah blah blah. You know what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't.
Uh
You're just rambling.
I think he was supposed to maybe he was supposed to win, but because I think he got hurt. I
No,
really did. I
I
think he
think that was a work. I 100% think that was a work. I did not see Randy Orton versus um, Seth Rollins. We have a couple questions that the people would like us to answer.
okay.
We got John ECW asking Ultimate Supremacy, who's going to take home all the gold? So you want our predictions on the matches? I can give you a whole prediction on who I think is going to take. Uh, I got. Let me look at the match card. And I'll tell you. I made it, but I don't know which way it is.
Oh, he wants to know if him or Johnny.
Oh, you were Johnny. No, Johnny or Gabe, because Johnny
Yeah.
asked the question. I
Oh,
honestly, one of you is gonna win. That's all I'm gonna say. That match is, I can't wait for that. More, I think I'm more, not more excited, but I'm as excited for the Sting and Darby Allin match as I am for Gabe Flair versus Johnny Extreme. Winner takes all.
I have said it left and right.
The promos,
I have
man.
been excited since that promo, and it will be being played on Sunday, will it not?
Yes, it will be before
That
the
prony
match,
that Gabe did,
beginning of the
and,
stream.
and you guys are going back and forth. The guys have gone back and forth, and I'm gonna say at the end of the night, somebody's walking out with 2 goals. It's hard to predict with the AI and this and that, and it's really hard to like say who's going to win, and stuff like that. But the AI has been so nice to both of you, and it's been back and forth for both of you. Look at the last card. I mean, you both won, and then like the week before, 1-1. It's been back and forth,
And
so it's going to be a good match.
now back to the WWE side of things. Give me a rundown on who will hold each title by SummerSlam.
Ooh.
Roman Reigns title, Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins title, Drew McIntyre. United States Championship, LA Knight. Intercontinental Championship, Chad Gable. Fuck you, Gunther's a bitch. Tag Team Championships, The New Day. Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley. SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley. Am I forgetting any?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to say
No.
ditto on everything but the tag team champions. I'm going to say the Usos.
Oh, the women's tag championships that no one really pays attention to.
Shayna Baszler and that chick
Yeah,
she's
I
with.
guess Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Don't get me started on them. I don't like them. Or I would like to see Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae take it. They don't though. They're not
That's a good
that
pick.
nice.
They do look good. I agree with you. They
No,
look good, but
not good. Oh, no one looks good. They all
Yeah,
suck.
but I like everything you got there. Roman Reigns. Who did you pick for Roman Reigns? It'd be Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
I agree 100% with that.
I got
The U.S. title, I like L.A. Knight taking it. Drew McIntyre. You think he's going to hold it that long? I like that idea.
It's not
I
like
think he
Damian Priest
will.
is ever gonna fucking cash in, so
And that's another thing that we could go into. You talk about SummerSlam. Will WrestleMania weekend, there's 2 nights. There's a few times he could turn it in. And but that was a great question. Who threw that question out there?
there will be, right? That is
It was
yes.
Gabe.
Yeah. There will be a new Money in the Bank holder because Money in the Bank is before SummerSlam.
Right. So he has to relinquish it before then, right? He can't just,
He's got to use it before a year is up.
Right. But I think he might wait until after WrestleMania and like, God, you know
Seth
what I'm saying.
Rollins.
Seth.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, but Seth has got a match at WrestleMania against who?
Against Drew McIntyre.
Right. And we feel that Drew is going to take it. I do. On that day. So I think he might cash in sometime after that on Drew.
Makes sense.
Before SummerSlam. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, that. But yeah, I can't remember what I picked.
For what?
You said Seth Rollins is going to have the title and for that long.
Oh no,
and
I said Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre
Drew
is going to win.
McIntyre. Okay, yeah, and
Yeah,
I
see,
think
that's
that
the thing is, I feel
Drew.
like that's what's going to end up happening. Is they're just going to okay. So this is how I feel. WrestleMania, they lose the titles. Damian Priest is so mad. He goes back to NXT, cashes in on the NXT champion, wins the NXT championship, and comes back to Raw. And I don't know. We're gonna talk about that at another time.
Well, we could write a great card. It's just you got to let them do it, and you know what I'm saying. And people in charge over there at the WWE don't know their ass from. They do know a little, but
Like that's what I read. I keep reading this thing that's like, oh, Triple H doesn't know how to book an NXT or not NXT, a Money in the Bank contract cash in at all. Because look at what happened with Austin Theory. It sucked.
Right. Right. And I'm sorry. I think that was a change for me. You know what I mean? That was a change for me because of the fact of the matter is, you always don't want the guy cashing in always wins. Guy always, they always wins, and then you had that, first the guy didn't win, and then let's have him go for a smaller title.
What I think they're trying to
and
do is
Damian Priest could do that.
they're trying to recreate a heist of the century moment, and it's never gonna happen. Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania and winning the belt from Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, heist of the century.
Yes. Yeah.
You're never gonna
They're not going to get back
recreate a
to
moment ever.
You ain't going to be able to get that kind of cash in
So now that we're done with that, I can
unless you surprise.
Get rid of this.
So, yeah. But great questions, great everything.
Leads me into another question. In the end, was it better that LA Knight did not win the briefcase? Or would they have booked it differently with him? Oh. So, I think it would have been.
That's a good question.
I think it would have been booked differently because I'm sorry, LA Knight is way more charismatic and everything than Damian Priest.
Ditto.
It's
I
my
agree
opinion.
100%.
My opinion. But and then so like John says right here, what if he cashes in on Roman versus Cody? Cody pins Damian. I could that honestly, I would like to see that because then, as much as I hate to say it, it doesn't make Roman look like a bitch by taking the pin. But then again, they can have that whole storyline of I never got pinned for my championship after 1,000. Blah, 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 blah. So we got to listen to Roman Reigns talk for another year. I don't know. I just want Cody to win.
I just want Cody to
I
win.
don't. It doesn't matter who he pin. If he doesn't win, I'm not watching WrestleMania. I'm not watching WWE ever again. We're not gonna have an eFed anymore. I will boycott WWE. We'll run an eFed on fucking AEW Fight Forever. I don't care. It's,
I mean, and the world is thinking that, and everybody is saying that,
I keep
and
seeing spoilers.
that's why they might turn around and they might fucking keep that belt on Roman. And here's a scenario that somebody, and I know you're gonna hate this scenario, that somebody brought up. But Hulk Hogan is still an active wrestler. He can be an active
Hulk
wrestler.
Hogan.
He's training. Okay,
Fuck
but
Hulk
again,
Hogan.
let me finish. Let me finish before you can fuck Hulk Hogan. He's a racist. Blah blah blah. This and that. Cody doesn't.
Dan knew where you were going.
Cody doesn't fulfill his dream.
No, fuck you. Cody is fulfilling his dream.
Roman wins. Roman gets close.
Hulk Hogan comes out and fucking I shoot Hulk Hogan
Putting
in a video game.
Himself closer to Hulk Hogan.
No.
Think about you can bring Hogan in for even just for vendettas and stuff like that.
I don't want to see Hulk Hogan in a fucking ring. I don't want to see Hulk Hogan in a ring. I don't want to see Ric Flair in a ring.
He doesn't actually wrestle against him. He gives it to Cody.
He doesn't give it to anyone because he doesn't come back to the WWE.
He says, hey, listen, you want to beat my record and this and that? Well, you're going to have to do this. Beat Cody.
You're going to have to fight Cody for the 19th time.
And they're all
You're booking into a wall. This is, hey everyone.
We beat him up. We beat him up.
Just so you know, this is why Pops doesn't book the wrestling shows. I do.
Because Hogan will bring you money.
Guess what? Famous words. Ready?
What?
Sheiky baby. May he rest in peace. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. Fuck his mama. I don't like him.
If you go to the Iron Sheik's final tweet, I can't even type. Where is it? I don't know. His final tweet was like,
his wife is a nice lady. Who? Hulk Hogan's?
Exactly. The Iron Sheik's.
You guys don't listen to Bubba the Love Sponge very much, do you?
Fuck Bubba the Love Sponge. I'm pretty sure there's a tweet that says fuck Bubba the Love Sponge also on Iron Sheik.
Okay, he's on Twitch, so he's on every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Let's plug him.
Let's not. The only thing you're going to be plugging is him. Hello!
Hey, I don't want to plug him.
You clearly just said, let's plug him. Let's plug him.
Yeah, well, I don't want to plug him in the way you're thinking about plugging him.
Not thinking.
Or maybe that was just me. Is Rich still here? Because Rich would have thought the same thing in his head.
Maybe Rich is doing some plugging.
Let's unplug him. No, but no, I mean, I this is all like a fantasy type thing.
Yeah, fantasy booking.
Cody's got to win.
Yes, Cody's
He's
got to
got to
win, but
win.
you don't want him to win. You're saying that
Oh, fuck that! I want him to
you
win, but I'm
literally just
saying
said you want Roman
in the
Reigns to
minds,
hold.
right? In the minds of motherfucking goddamn cunt and her fucking husband and fucking dipshit and fucking
Wow.
Dana fucking White and all them assholes, they're gonna think, buddy. That's what they think. They don't think shit. And you just said Roman Reigns was the big money guy, right? Did you not? Didn't we just talk about this earlier?
Yeah, me and Dan got some Minecraft to do, so we gotta hurry this up.
You listen, hold on. You hold on. I'm finishing my scenario first. But you see, they only think money. So they're thinking, I'm just saying, if they were thinking with their money minds, I'm not saying I want to see it. I'm saying if they're thinking with their little money minds, bring Hogan in, back and
Pops
forth
wants
with
to
Roman
see
Reigns. You ain't gonna beat my thing, and this
Pops
and
wants
that,
to
la
see
la.
Hogan for
But he's
another
not gonna
few
actually
years.
be able to wrestle him because
Roman
there's no way that fucking Hulk Hogan can get his 90-year-old leg up to do the fucking leg drop and this and that. And like you guys say, they like to try to rebuild nostalgic moments and this and that. They want to bring you back to WrestleMania 3, fucking Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Hogan finally fucking, blah, 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 blah.
So you're saying, so now you're admitting that Andre the Giant is your Roman Reigns. Or, sorry, Roman Reigns is the new Andre the Giant.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sounds to me
In their
like
minds, not in my mind.
I'm joking.
In my mind, his plane will crash and we will never have to deal with Roman Reigns again.
Well, that part of the podcast is going to be cut out. We're going to end it on a... Oh my
That's
God.
all in their minds. I didn't really mean that. I love Roman Reigns. Not really. But I mean, I do not. You dark
Real
turd.
dark turd.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Real dark.
To be honest with you.
All right. Let's end it on a positive note. Let's talk about... I can't even say positive note.
What's a positive note?
I was gonna say,
I'm
let's end it on a positive note. Rest in peace, Virgil. But that's not positive at all.
Right. Yeah, I was sad to hear it. And I kept looking. I was looking for my NWO shirt. And I wanted to wear that
Virgil.
tonight.
Died at 61 years old today.
And on that fact, a lot of people put him down the last few years about going out and doing the the indie shows and charging money for his his $10 for his thing and not just giving people on the side of the road if he meets them. I also know another great wrestler who used to charge you money, Ox Baker. If you saw him, out on the street or whatever, he used to come into the Walmart Tire Loop Express all the time. I loved Ox. He was a great guy. But I would always ask him, "Hey, when you going to bring me to 8x10?" He says, "When you give me $10." But these guys, they don't have insurance and stuff like that, and that's partially part of the reason why the man was, he had health problems. He had a few strokes, like in the last few months. Virgil did, and people were all making fun of him and making memes about him, and he thinks he was a good wrestler and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And now look, y'all making fun of him, and then I don't want to see one of those fucking people that made fun of him and shit like that fucking even put an RIP anywhere on any social media because it's just not right. You can't make fun of the guy and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Okay, all right. We'll do this. We'll talk about tonight's AEW card that happens in about...
There we go. Yeah, another sad moment for me. Thank you. And another old man that's going to be there that David doesn't like. Let's go.
AEW International Championship is being put on the line. Orange Cassidy versus Nick Wayne tonight.
That's going to be good. That'd be good.
I love the open challenges, like I said. I do. The Eddie Kingston and FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club. Atlantis Jr. versus the Lionheart Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is making his return to Dynamite.
Hold on 1 second with
What?
that announcement. Why does in the picture he looks like a small person? Is he a small person?
I don't know.
Well, they got this like little
Then we
picture
got
of
Chris
him.
Statlander.
The guy behind him
Chris
looks like he's 10
Statlander
feet
versus
tall.
Sky Blue.
I'm sorry.
Hangman Adam Page announces his status for Revolution.
All right.
I think that's it.
What's his status? And Sting. He didn't mention.
Chris is a small
No.
No,
not
Atlantis.
Jericho. It's
No,
the other
Atlantis
guy.
Jr. looks like a small guy. I think he's like supposed to be like a kid.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Like he's
okay.
someone's.
So they
Atlantis.
they made him look like
Junior.
a midget. I can't say small people. I can say midget. Can I not?
No, you cannot.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Little person.
A little person. All right.
Eddie Kingston FTR versus trios match, and then Sting's final Dynamite makes his final appearance on TBS after 36 iconic years on top. It's gonna be a tearjerker tonight,
and that is why Ric Flair is going to be there. He's got to be there.
Why do you have to? I was ending it on a positive note, and then you have to piss me off. I hope Ric Flair's not there. I hate Blue Energy. I hate Ric Flair. I only like Gabe Flair.
I like the entire Flair family. I love Gabe.
That being said, we've been here for an hour and 25 minutes.
Right, so thank you. I know you want to get out now because
as we did last week.
I have ruined the show.
Okay, so I will do exclamation point merch in the chat. We do have new RTPW merch. It is up. We're going to be doing limited beanies and t-shirts for the Final Crusade. With that being said, the week of the Final Crusade, we'll be doing a stream on Friday. All right, so when we do the Final Crusade, it's going to be a Tuesday night Turmoil, Wednesday night WrestleTalk with David and Pops, Friday night Showdown, and then Saturday and Sunday is the Final Crusade. The first ever 2-night event, the first ever WrestleMania for RTPW, the Final Crusade. It's going to be a long week. So get your promos in now. And it's going to be a long week of streaming. 1, 2, it's going to be when we do the Final Crusade stream, we will have a promo code in the stream that is only available those 2 days for the t-shirts. They're going to be limited edition.
I like it.
You can only get them on those 2 days. You can use the promo code to get some money off or free shipping. I don't know. We haven't worked that out yet. But I will keep you guys updated on that. I'm going to give my shout outs for the week. Shout out COVID tests showing me why I'm sick and feel like I'm dying. Shout out Bowsy, aka my best friend Daniel in the chat. Shout out my merch guys, Ricky and Rich.
Who the fuck is Richie?
Shut the fuck up. Ricky and Rich, Gabe Flair Smells.
Rich.
Yes. Shout out Mac. Shout out Rich. Shout out Dan. Shout out COVID test. I'm like, feel like someone's stepping on my face. So shout out that.
All right. So I think it's time for me to do my shout outs.
Here's Pops.
All right. I want to give a shout out to everyone. To everyone that comes in the RTPW. If you're here, I'm giving you a shout out. If you're not here, I'm also giving you a shout out because RTPW is some great talent. I'd also like to give out a shout out to cheese balls. Cheese balls are, I mean, these things are great. Brim's cheese balls. You can get them at the dollar store. And you get you a big old bag. That thing has lasted me 3 days, and I'm going down to get another one tomorrow. And give a shout out to Gabe and to Johnny for making one of my favorite, most pay per view matches. I'm probably gonna, this and that. And I want to give a shout out to Smelling People Smell. And I want to give a shout out to COVID tests. And when I say it's time for us to say goodbye, oh my friend, oh
I don't know
bye.
who to raid.
If you found somebody to raid, because I'm gonna say peace, love, monkeys. We're getting ready to get out of here.
We're gonna go over and follow or raid, formerly known as Aiden English, Drama King Matt.
All right, sounds good. Tell him we said
use
hi.
the hashtag WrestleTalk wants you.
WrestleTalk wants you. Yeah, I'd like to talk with him. That would be awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, Ragtag sent me Ragtag sent me WrestleTalk wants you and WrestleTalk with David and Pops. Use those hashtags. We will see you again here Saturday night for Showdown. The go home
What time,
show,
David?
6:30. The go home show to our pay-per-view Ultimate Supremacy, 6:30 p.m. EST. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a Saturday night. I don't even know what day it is. Have a good night.
We'll see you all Saturday night. Oh, my light started flashing.